You've worked hard on yourself. You know your worth. But where are the men who match your emotional intelligence and readiness for real love? Our online school, Singles Seeking Soulmate, teaches powerful relationship skills and connects you with men who've done the same deep work. This course helped me see patterns I didn't realize were blocking love. And yes, I actually met someone amazing. It's time for real connection with yourself and with someone truly ready. Join Skool. Meet relationship-ready men, ready for love that actually feels healthy. Join a community of women learning powerful relationship skills. And meet emotionally available, relationship-ready men doing the same work.
So I got back in early this morning into Virginia, into Richmond, and I had to take my daughter back to Charlottesville because she wound up staying in Richmond the whole time I was gone. And dropped her off. We're getting ready for graduation. We're on the countdown to graduation, which is Saturday. So I had to run her around to do some things getting ready for graduation. I needed to buy something to wear to graduation because it's going to be super hot, and most of graduation is outside. So I just wanted to make sure I had something that if it got really hot and I was sweating in it, it wasn't going to look crazy. But anyway, and so I'm now driving back. I'm driving back to Richmond. I got to pick up my daughter from my mom's house. I'll bring her back to the house. I desperately need a nap because I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I'm exhausted. And then I will get up from my nap and kind of, get some things done around the house and etc. So, but I wanted to come on and talk to you all about a question I get asked quite a bit. And it is all about meeting real people. It's all about meeting real people. And so the guys ask me, I'm not interested in the baddies, or I'm not interested in the women online that are all about me paying their bills, or they're all about money, they're all about me taking them on $300 dates. I'm not interested in that. I just want to meet a regular woman, a normal woman who looks normal, okay? Doesn't have all the surgeries and all of that, and she looks normal, and she just wants to get to know a man, right? She just is a normal woman. And then I have women asking me all the time, where are the regular guys? Like, where are the men that don't lead with sex? Where are the men that, that are not low effort or bare minimum? Where are just regular men? Okay, so I've often said that I think the man that wants sex and the woman that wants money, like, they need to be together. They just need to find each other. That's what I've often said. Let the man who wants sex and the woman who wants money bring those people together, and voila, there you go. So he's getting what he wants for a price. So I've been saying that. And truthfully, that is primarily the people that are online. So the people that are online and live their lives online and have active social media profiles where they are posting and looking at what other people post, that's primarily where those people are. They are online. They live online. They live on their phone. They live on TikTok. They live on Instagram or Facebook or watching YouTube videos. Here is the reality. If you want to meet real people, you have to get offline. You have to get offline. You have to go out. You have to smile. You have to be approachable. You have to strike up conversations with people and, have an intention to have fun and meet new and interesting people. And in my humble opinion, I do that everywhere I go. And it is simply with the intention of enjoying their company. Like, I'm not out talking to men trying to make it go somewhere. Like, I'm just talking to men. And I'm enjoying their company. I'm enjoying the moment. Who knows what will come of it. But, yeah, I'm always telling men and women that. Like, don't lead with expectation, right? I need men and women to hear me on this. So when women go out and their expectation is, I'm going to meet a man, I'm out here looking for a man, I'm dressed to find a man, I'm on the hunt. No, you will be disappointed every time. I want you to go out with the intention of meeting people, having fun, having interesting conversations, having good food. If you drink, having a drink, that's it. I want men to do the same thing. I tell them the same thing. They go out, they have all these expectations, and then when it doesn't go the way they expect, now here comes the bitter, oh, well, these women, and I try to talk to these women, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. No, you just need to be approachable. You need to be a good person. You need to be a fun person, a kind person. You need to be an interesting person. That's it. It really isn't hard. But for some reason, you got a whole lot of people out here that feel like the world should just fall at their feet because they're them. And I'm sorry, that is not what's happening right now. Maybe that was true 25 years ago. That's not what's happening right now. You have to be able to be a warm, approachable, kind person. You have to develop that extroverted muscle. So to all my introverted women, like, baby, I'm just going to keep it real. I don't know what you're going to do. I just don't. Because men are not approaching women like that. And I just don't know what y'all going to do. Because you don't want to, strike up a conversation. You don't want to talk to men unless they're coming on super strong and all of that. But that's not happening anymore. You have got to develop your extroverted muscle. You've got to be approachable. You've got to be a fun person. You have to be interesting. And too many people today are not. Y'all are not interesting. And the men too. And now the men aren't approaching, which y'all already know what I think. I think there's a courageous man. That's the man that gets my attention every time. Someone who's bold, someone who puts themselves out there, someone who takes chances. That's the type of man that's going to get my attention every single time. Every time. Every time. Every time. Because that is the person that I want to be around. I want to be around men that are bold. I want to be around men that are brave. I want to be around men that initiate. I want to be around men that lead. That's what all of that says to me. I am bold. I'm courageous. I initiate conversations. You give me the eyes, you give me the smile. I come over, or we're sitting next to each other out somewhere, and I just initiate conversation. Like that's the guy, if I'm being honest, that will always attract me. Because as the girl, that's actually what I'm looking for. But do I have conversation? Like, am I a conversationalist? Yes. Do I strike up conversations with people all the time? I struck up a conversation with a man in the airport. So I do that all the time. But again, the reason why I'm able to get away with that is because I have no expectation. Like, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't mean anything. And if it happened to go somewhere, it would be a surprise to me, because that's not my intention when I'm striking up conversations with men when I'm out. So when women say, well, we don't want to initiate conversations, we don't want to go up to men and ask them out. No, I'm not asking you to do that at all. But I am asking you to, kind of in a casual way, you can't say, oh, this is interesting, or oh, that looks really good. What is that? Like, what? Like, come on. And really talk to men like anybody else, right? If you saw a woman sitting in a restaurant eating something that looked interesting, might you say, oh, that looks good. What is that? Why wouldn't you do the same for a man? So I think we've reached an impasse where people, right, have got to be more approachable. They've got to be more interesting and interested in other people. And they've got to learn how to converse in a way that, seems interesting, or at least interested. But yeah, we are not, a lot of us just don't most people are not that interested in you, or maybe you're not interested in them, however it comes off. But we've got to develop better social skills, because I find the people whose social skills suck, those are the ones that are doing all the complaining. Because I don't have a problem meeting people. I don't have a problem meeting men. That's not my issue. It's the quality of men sometimes, or it's the compatibility. But meeting men, no, that's not my issue at all. Not at all. Like I can go anywhere at any time and meet men. Old men, young men, black men, white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. I can meet men. Like, that's not my issue at all, because I have no problem initiating conversation. I have no problem reciprocating the conversation, smiling, being warm, asking questions. Like, y'all are not doing that. Can I be real? Y'all are not doing that. So that's it. But go out, have no expectation other than to meet a new person and have fun, make a friend, right? Everything don't have to be so heavy and romantic. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I meet men in the airport. And again, I don't know where they're going. They don't know where I'm going. I don't know where it's going. But yeah, like, it's weird to me. It's weird. It's just weird to me that people are like, where do I meet real people? You're going to have to meet them out in the world, not online, because I'm going to post a reel later about how people are real bold online. They real bold behind the screen, right? And they bold with the nasty words, with the ugly words. Oh, they got smoke for you when they typing through this phone. They got the smoke all day. And what I find interesting is those same men wouldn't say the things they say on my platform to my face. I think that's fascinating. So men will, throw all kind of insults around. They'll talk about my age. They'll talk about this, and then when I'm sitting across from those men, they would never dare. They would never dare say the things that they say online to my face. And to me, that's a punk. That's just a straight punk in my opinion. Like, dude, if you gonna be so bold as to type it on my platform, type it in my comments, type it under my videos, yeah, say it to my face. Say it to my face. When I have lives, when I have, YouTubes, and I'm like, yeah, come up. If you're disagreeing with anything I'm saying, come up. Do you know 9 times out of 10, they don't. Because again, I want people to see in real time you bring the smoke. Because I ain't got no problem. I don't have no problem. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of people. Everything I say here, I say out in the world. Okay? And I'm respectful and kind. I'm direct. Like, the one thing, the best compliment that I get is I am the same online as I am offline. That's the best compliment I get. Everybody who's ever consulted, coached with me, done counseling, they're like, yep, that's Anita. That's Anita. That's exactly how she like that in the world. She like that online. She like that. That's Anita. Now, like I told y'all before, there is a private or an inner part of me. So when a man is interested in me romantically, he has to get to know that side of me. That's not the side of me that I show to the entire world. Because again, that's a side of me that is specific to my man. Okay? So some men get confused by that. Oh, is this the person that I'm in relationship with? No. Okay? This is a part of it, but there is the girl, there is the feminine goddess, there is wifey, right? You're not going to see that unless you're dating me. So I'm not showing that to the whole world because I'm not dating the whole world. That is specific to the man that I'm dating. That's specific to the man that I'm with. Okay? But y'all need to get offline. I mean, and it's an interesting dichotomy I find myself in, because I talk to you online. I talk to you through my videos. I talk to you through YouTube. I talk to you through Instagram. And I'm asking you to get off of those platforms. right? It's one thing to come here and get the knowledge you need, but then it's another thing to apply that knowledge in the real world. And that's what I find people are not doing. They spend a lot of time online. They spend a lot of time watching my content. They spend a lot of time watching other people's content, but they never do anything with it. They never actively use that content out in the real world. And that's the part I don't understand. Like, at what point do you stop consuming and you start doing, you start applying, you use the information that I'm giving you? At what point do you do that? Okay? And a lot of people are not. They're just consuming, and listening and watching hours and hours and hours of video. And they are never getting offline. And then they're getting into it with people in the comment section and, you know, saying all this crazy stuff to each other. No, I'm never going to disrespect you in the comments, and I'm never going to disrespect you in person. And I keep telling people that. Stop matching negative energy. You're a part of the problem. I never match negative energy. I only match your positive, respectful energy. I disappear from your negative energy. I leave you alone. That's all you're going to get when you bring smoke to me. You go, okay, and you going to be arguing with yourself. Okay, let me see these comments because I see a bunch of people. Okay, Crazy Tease was, if a person become overheated and have a heat stroke, the people in charge of the outside venue should be held liable. I've seen it happen. That ain't going to happen this weekend. Nope. UVA said you better come prepared or take your behind inside somewhere. They ain't thinking about us. They do hook up the player with money and the lady with the honey. Okay, like I said, that's what need to happen. True, don't expect to find them when you least expect it. They will come true, yeah. But it's weird because it's like people today move with expectation. And I see it on both sides. Instead of just going out and having fun, everybody wants something. I never seen people be so self-absorbed. Like, everybody wants something. It's weird to me. You can't just be out having a good time interacting with people. Like, everybody wants something. The women want something, the men want something, and I'm like, no. Can we just come together and have fun? And then maybe something will come of it, but maybe it won't. And you don't have to be bitter about that. People hear you, but they're not applying. Agreed. So that's it. Better join a club or Toastmasters. Yeah, I've given y'all all of my best tips, all of my best places, all the things that I do. I have an event tomorrow. I have a kickback event tomorrow. And I can't stay too long because I got to get up super early for graduation. But I'll go for an hour or two. And there's girlfriends that I know that are going. There's a couple guy friends that I know that are going. And it's like there's zero expectation. We go, we see our friends, we hang out. They may bring people. There may be new people there that I've never met. But yeah, it's all in good fun. I don't understand it. Hello, is it Fried 5670? There we go. Hello. It works. I'm at the bar. A woman either compliments my cologne or drink, and conversation flows. Got to work those social muscles, ladies. Agreed. But women who have been, and this is what I call it, y'all. So women who've been steeped in the femininity content. So if they've been steeped in that femininity content for like a year or 2 or 5 years, you got some people out here that have been steeped in it for 5 years. So that pink pill content, to me, can I be real? Those women are just as dangerous as red pill women. Red pill men. They're just as dangerous. So the red pill men who've been steeped in red pill, and the women who've been steeped in the femininity pink pill, they the same person. They're the same person in my mind. That's why I tell the ladies that I said, stop using that vernacular. Stop talking about what you don't want and talk about what you want. Like, don't do that, but they can be their worst enemy because they've been sold the narrative that because they have a vagina, that the world should just lay at their feet. And it just don't work that way. I hate to break it to you, but just because you have a vagina, the world is not going to lay at your feet. Men are not going to, do whatever you want them to do. That's not how it works. So it's weird. It's like really weird to me. But my platform started out talking about masculine and feminine dynamics, talking about polarity, but never, ever have I ever, and I want you to go back as far as my content goes, never, ever have I talked about a man spending a bunch of money on you and you doing, nothing in the sense of, like I always tell women, reciprocate. Whatever the man initiates, you reciprocate. He gives, you give back. Like that is the dynamic. Never, ever have I just said, don't give anything, don't do anything, don't, no. It is a dance. It is a dance that men and women do. They have disturbed spirits, as a lot of people. I tell women to just ask questions. Puts a man in the position to where he's being a leader by asking for advice. If you are in line at a food spot, ask him what's good on the menu. Yep. Simple. It's so simple. Simple stuff. And y'all ain't opening your mouth because, I have a vagina. A man should just, lay everything at my feet. He should just run over and have flowers and candy and all this stuff and all of it. No, that day is over. I hate to break it to you, but that day is over. Be a dope chick. That's what I keep telling people. Be dope, right? Have clear boundaries. Know what you want, what you don't want, what you need, and stay within those parameters. Be warm. Be a good conversationalist, be interesting, have a life of your own. That's the biggest thing that's messing women up today. They don't have a life of their own. They don't have things that they do, places that they go, people that they know. That's the biggest stumbling block of modern day women. They don't have nothing going on for themselves. Nothing. And yet they expect a man to come in their life and provide a life for them. It's crazy. Take me here and do this and plan these dates and, keep me entertained at all times. I don't need a man for that. I don't need a man for that, y'all. I have a life. They also have no intellect. You do, Dr. Anita. Thank you. What's up at Real Dope Daddy? Good to see you in the chat. Okay, that's Robin Hood. That's our love language, and he will be comfortable enough to make a move from there. Just invite conversation without pursuing the man. Exactly. But again, these women that have been steeped in pink pill, don't you ever say nothing. Don't you ever know. They supposed to do all that. Like, okay, yes, should a man initiate? Sure. But again, what I'm asking you to do is not pursuing or initiating romantic, hey, you want to go out? Hey, you want to have my number? Can I have your number? No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to be the girl. I want you to just talk. Can you just talk to the man like you talk to anybody else? Like, that's what I want you to do. And I want you to be that fun, interesting chick. That's it. No, I'm not saying, ask for his number and you come here often and this and no, don't do that. Because that is you playing the role of the man. I don't want you to do that. But I approach every man like he's a buddy, like he's a pal, like, he's, like he's a person, right? I'm just talking to a person. And only when they shift that conversation to, well, what you doing? What you talking about? Okay, now I have to kind of shift myself, like, okay, is he trying to talk or what's happening? Like, okay, but prior to that, I'm just talking to another person. That's the part I don't get. I just don't understand that. Keyboard warriors, yeah, that's the people who, like I said, it blows my mind because they'll come for me, and then when I meet them or I see them on someone else's platform, that ain't got nothing to say. That ain't quiet. So he said, what's up, bro? I'm not familiar with your name, okay? Pull up, not come up. I'm not trying to be comical. Yeah, they're a trip online. Tell it on to you speaking good today. Thank you. If they stay offline, it won't be any different or any better. They're not going to apply what you say. Before social media, they was doing the same thing. Maybe, but I'm going to be honest. Like, now that we have this crutch, we got to get rid of it. And look, this is the thing that I have great empathy for, right? When we went through the pandemic, I knew, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think it was February. So February of 2020, I had a Valentine's Day event for singles. And I would say about 40, 45 people showed up. And then that following month, that's when everything kind of shut down. But I knew better. I knew better when that happened to do what they were instructing us to do. I knew better. I was like, no, I'm not going in my house. I'm not going in my house. I'm not staying in my house. Like, I knew better. I knew that was going to hurt us in the long run. And most people, can we be honest? Most people followed their instructions to the letter. They followed their instructions to the letter. Whatever the news told you to do, the government told you to do, you did it. And maybe that's the rebel in me. Maybe that's something going on inside of me, but I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I knew how detrimental that was going to be. I kept my practice open. I encouraged people to come in for their appointment. We had their appointment in the conference room where we had plenty of space. Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that. I never ordered food delivered to the house. I never ordered groceries. I went to the grocery store. I went to the food places that was open. I cooked a lot. I didn't eat out that much. I cooked a lot. Okay. But I kept going out. I sure did, because I was like, nah, this is not good. But I knew how detrimental that was going to be. And it's like over those year to 2 years, it destroyed people. It just destroyed them. It destroyed them. She said, Auntie, you have always kept it real and consistent. That's why I'm still here. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. My cousin told me I be flirting with men on a level they aren't used to. Yeah. When I ran my best convos and lines by him. Okay. He said, Real Dope Daddy said, I don't want to be pursued at all. Just put yourself in my path. A lot of men don't agree. The women who have started flirting with me makes me feel like the prize. Okay. Well, now the men say you are the prize. Okay. He said, you got to be in Atlanta, Queen of Cascades. But yeah, like, I just want people to be interested in each other again. I want people to be human again. And one thing I notice about the online thing is, like, we're not human. We don't talk to each other like we're human beings. Like, come on. And it really disturbs me. It very much disturbs my soul. That's why I don't spend a lot of time online anymore, because it's disturbing that we're not looking at each other like humans. You know, men are looking at women like they're either crazy or they're a piece of meat. They sexualize them. They objectify them. The women objectify themselves. Okay, they act crazy and they objectify themselves. So, you know, I keep telling the women that you can't ask for respect until you self-respect. Unless you are respecting yourself, what you look like asking other people to respect you. And y'all, I can go on a whole tangent about that being about Black people. Because there's a whole lot of content right now being made about Black folks and their culture and how destructive it is. It is absolutely, I never, ever seen it like this. They don't respect themselves, and they have the audacity to want people of other races to respect them. That don't make no sense. Okay? No. You need to respect yourself and move with self-respect, and then other people will respect you. But come on, we need to stop. But I can go all day about where Black culture has taken us. It's crazy. absolutely crazy. We glorify the single mother. We glorify baby daddy culture. I've already done videos about this, so I'm not going to do it again. But that right there needs to stop. That's crazy. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But get out, get offline, travel, meet people, have conversations, start conversations, regardless of who you are, man or woman. Find another human person and start talking to them. Ask them questions. Seem interested. Right now, the culture that we have going on is it's a disturbing culture, and it's basically, what can you do for me? That's how people come to you. What can you do for me? You know, what's the benefit? And sometimes it's just a conversation for conversation's sake, right? I'm not looking to get anything. I was at, what is the name of the, it's like a restaurant and bar, Frenchie's. I was at Frenchie's in Clearwater, and it's like everybody's sitting at the bar is talking. Like, we're all just talking about different stuff, and I mean, we're just having a good time. And I'm just thinking, there is no point to this at all. Like, this is not going anywhere. There's no point. It's just a bunch of human beings sitting at the bar, eating. They were drinking, and we're just talking. Nobody's trying to get anything from anybody. But it's like, that's a lost art. Because I kid you not, I've been out with women where they're like, oh, why would I talk to him? Because he's a human being? Like, what are you talking about? We're all sitting here. We're just talking for talking's sake. We're just conversing just to converse, just to meet another human being and get a different perspective on a topic. But it's like everybody now, like, oh, it's got to lead to something. It's got to benefit me in some way. It's got to give me something. Well, what's the point? That is gone. That's the era that I grew up in. I can't tell you how many friends and how many people I met and got to know off the strength of just sitting around talking, or, you know, starting conversation, or, yeah, just because there's people here. Like, okay, we just chilling. What's the big deal? But that's a thing I've noticed, is how selfish people are. People are incredibly selfish today. Everything is about what have you done for me lately? Like, how am I benefiting from this? What is this doing for me? Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. And so they won't even engage with another person. And so look, they having these singles events now, and the women are disappointed that, oh, the men coming out are either not at all what I'm interested in, or there are no men coming out. And look, I use those opportunities to meet women. Why don't you meet some girlfriends? Why don't you meet some women? That's what I don't get. Like, use this opportunity to meet other women. But no, they leave those events disappointed. Oh, girl, the men in here suck. And oh, my God, there wasn't nobody in there I was interested. Okay, but there was a room full of people. Like, I would have I have a ball. So what you need to know about me is when I go out, when I go and do stuff, when I'm out here in the real world, I'm just having a ball, right? I'm just having a ball. I'm smiling. I'm talking to people. I'm getting to know people. I'm just happy to be here. That's me. But it's funny to me that women are leaving these events, or they leave, and it's like, oh, that sucked. That was a waste of time. Was it? Because you were in a room full of people. Why didn't you make the most of getting to know some new people, new girlfriends? And maybe there were some men in there that could have made great guy friends. And y'all already know how I feel about men and women. I think they can be friends. Like, y'all keep saying, oh, no, they can't. Oh, no, they can't. I have plenty of guy friends and haven't slept with any of them. It ain't gone nowhere romantically. And yet they still keep coming around. They still keep calling on the phone. We still keep hanging out. They still keep texting. So I don't know. Maybe y'all can make a case for, oh, well, they're doing that until you give it up. It's been 20 years. Okay. That's a really long time to wait to get some tail from Anita. So I don't know. That's what y'all tell me. Oh, they waiting for some tail, Anita. Okay, well, they've been waiting a long time. They've been waiting a real long time to get some tail from Anita. Okay, because no, haven't had sex with any of them. That's all. Okay. In the current dating market, I believe a good, well-rounded man is more rare and technically the prize. But once that man finds a woman, she is the prize. She is his prize. Okay, that's my take. Okay. They have the wrong mindset. That's a lot of people. Real Dope Daddy says, I'm very introverted, but I understand communicating with others more would make me a better person. It does. It does. And I consider myself to be an introvert. And a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. Y'all are draining. People drain me. People drain me. But I am also an Enneagram type 3. And that means that I truly enjoy getting to know people, right? And as a counselor, like I am interested in people. I'm interested in them and their stories and who they are and where they come from and why they're the way they are. So that is the driving force behind. And then I'm just well socialized. I am well socialized. I grew up in the 80s where, you know, your family moved into the neighborhood. This is how we did it, y'all. Your family moved into the neighborhood. And on Saturday, you got up on Saturday morning, so it's me and my brother. We get up on Saturday morning. We go door to door. This is a true story. Every time we would move, we went door to door. And hey, do you have any kids? Like, do any kids live here? And look, if there was kids that lived there, they were like, yeah, we got a son, we got a daughter, we got 3 kids. And, oh, what age are they? What school do they go to? That's how we did it, y'all. That's how we made friends. Or let's say it was Saturday morning and the kids was outside in the neighborhood. Then we go outside and we be like, hey, what's your name? My name's Anita. You know, I live right there on the corner of Crossbow. That's how we did it. That's how we did it. And because you played outside all day until the street light came on or until dusk, you know, in the suburbs, it was dusk. That's how we did it. And you went outside and you just told kids your name and you asked them their name. Oh, you go to such and so school, you go to, you know, and there you have it. Oh, where do you live? Oh, you live down there? That house with the yellow shutters? Like, that's how I knew it, you know. So-and-so live in this house with the black shutters. So-and-so live in this house with the red door. That's how I found friends. But that's what we would do. Me and my brother, we would go out, we'd knock on people's doors. Hey, any kids live here? Or we'd see kids out. Hey, my name is Anita. What's your name? Oh, okay. How old are you? Okay. And that's how we made friends. So I am well socialized. I don't know what y'all doing now. Y'all scared of your own shadow, much less to talk to people. That's it. Okay. Pat Cornelio says they do not engage with another person because it's not about another person. It's about them. It's never ceased to amaze me how the love has waxed cold in the world, right? Man, you dead on with that. People are selfish. I never seen human beings be so self-absorbed. Like it's all about them all the time. It's wild to me. It's wild. And how many friends have I had where I've done things for them over the years? I've been there for them. And it's just like, to me, that's second nature. That's a part of being a good friend. But now, what they going to do for me? And what am I going to get out of it? When are they going to pay me back? And all this, it's crazy. Y'all, I can't make this up. It's crazy. Crazy T said, but you never know what that engagement may turn out to be. It can be beneficial in other ways, 100%. Right. But people are just selfish, y'all. They're selfish. But y'all know the Bible prophesied this, right? So Matthew 27, 7 through 15, the love of man will grow cold toward one another. And that was written, what, thousands of years ago? So here we are. Look, when I was coming from the beach yesterday, I came across a tall white gentleman, and he was handing out tracts, and religious tracts, right? So everybody passing him. So we make eye contact. So I head straight over to him, right? And he started smiling, and I started smiling, and he was like, he gave me the tract. He said, do you know where you're going to spend eternity? And I said, yeah, I'm going to spend it with Jesus, right? I said, I sure do. I'm going to spend it with Jesus. He said, have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior? I said, I sure have. Right? So we get into this whole conversation about the end times, and he was talking about it, and I was telling him some scriptures, and he was like, wow. He's like, yeah, you really know your Bible. I was like, yeah. I was like, I sure do. I said, and I'm not worried as other people are, because I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. So I don't have fear or worry about it, because I've already made up my mind. I've already made the decision of whose side I'm on. And he was like, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you talking to me and coming over here and taking one of my tracks. He's like, you know, a lot of people pass me by, or they don't want to have conversation. I said, nope, that's what I'm here to do, is connect with other humans. And as long as you're here on the planet, that's what you should be doing. It's really sad to me where people are. There are people who would wait an entire lifetime for the possibility of being with someone. You'd be surprised how many people will stay friends with someone because they consider them another option. Well, they gonna be waiting until we die. Because I don't know what their intention is. Jofiel.who. I don't know what their intention is, but my intention is to be a genuine friend. My intention is to have your back for real. So if they have an intention other than that, they're going to be waiting till death. Because no, I believe men and women can be friends, and you just have to set it up that way, and you have to communicate, and you have to have boundaries. That's it. But a man is a human being. Okay? I'm a human being. I'm not a sex object. My value is far greater than my vagina. Okay, I keep trying to explain this to people. My value to a man is far greater than what's between my legs. Okay, so he can wait a lifetime, and oh well. Anita, did you live in Virginia growing up in the 80s? So no, I am from Maryland. I was born in DC, and then we moved to the suburbs of Maryland. And that is primarily where I came up. Now, my mother moved to Virginia. She moved to Richmond when I was 12. And so I spent from 12 to 16 in Richmond. And again, we did the same thing. We knocked on people's doors and did the same thing here in Richmond. Knocked on people's doors. Hey, do you have any kids here? And, you know, we're new here in town. And then I went back to Maryland when I was 16. In this day and age, you technically don't even need to see people physically. Technology has changed life, and not for the good. Not in a good way. Can we be honest? It's not a good thing at all. It's destroying people. He said, no, Anita didn't do that. Wrong guy. Okay. Think about it. We're actually communicating with people right now. Yep, the only difference is I can't physically touch you because you're not in the same room as me. Exactly. And while I believe that has merit, there are limits, right? I believe, so here's what's interesting about me. I've met a lot of content creators through doing this. So I know a lot of content creators. And I would, if I'm being honest, so about 90% of them I've never met in person. But I've talked to them on the phone, we've texted, and we've talked through this medium. We've done lives together, we've been on Instagram Live together and YouTube. 10% of them I have met in person. Okay, so 10% of the creators that I have befriended over the years, I have met them in person. I went to London and I met Kit. Big L and I met recently. So when I have the opportunity to meet in person, I meet them in person, because in my mind, I want to continue to extend that friendship into the real world. That's a real world person to me now. That's a real world friendship now. And I want to extend it beyond a screen. So yeah, he said, I can hear you, I can see you. And if you allowed someone to put their video up, they would be able to communicate back to you in the same way. They can. In the current climate, do you think people need to be social media compatible to some degree? Oh my God, yes. Oh my, can I be real? I don't date men that have social media. God, yes. I think you need to put that, if you're on a dating profile, you need to put that in your dating profile. Like, what is your relationship with social media? God, yes, because I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't date men from my DM. I'm not interested in men coming in my DM. I do not date men from my DM. And if I meet you out in the world, I do ask, what's your relationship with social media? Do you have an Instagram page? Do you have Facebook? Do you watch TikTok? Do you look at YouTube? How often would you say you're on those platforms? Those are the first questions that I ask. And can I be real, y'all? A lot of men that I've met recently say, yeah, I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. Or I have Facebook from when I was in college 25 years ago. So you can find me on there, but you'll see that I don't post to it. You know, I don't really look at it. Those are my men. Those are my guys now. Like if a man is like, oh yeah, let's exchange Instagram. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Or if I find it and he's posting a lot and creating all this curated content, yeah, I'm good. Those men, I'm good. Because if I'm being honest, something about a man who's using Instagram every day and creating all these videos and taking pictures of his food and his clothes and all of that, something about that just turns me off. I'm just being honest with y'all. I see social media as a female thing. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I do. I see that as like kind of a feminine thing. So men who have a Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and they're posting all the time and they're creating all these videos everywhere they go and everything they're doing. And look, you got dudes out here now, they create, they go on a trip, they will piece together a video and then put a voiceover over it. Bro, you doing too much. Like, that's a no. That's a no. Because you're doing too much. You are curating content. Now and look, this will make it even worse. You're not a content creator. It's different if you're a content creator. If that man had a business or if he was a content creator, that's different. Okay. These dudes are not content creators and they are going out of their way to put together, to edit a video and voice over the video. Like, that's weird to me. Those are the dudes I don't want. I don't want those dudes. He said, at Real Dope Daddy, you would be a fool not to use technology in this day and age. Logically speaking, if God existed during the time of technology, he would have used it since he wanted to grow his audience. Think about the fact that you can video call anyone in the world at any given moment. Like, for example, you have a divided household, you could still have a video chat with both families and houses. People are friends for years and love each other without ever meeting each other, simply because they've heard someone's music, art, or created content. I think there are limits, though, and I'm always going to think that. There are limits to the technology. There should be, and I'm real good at that. Like, I think that the technology has its place, and it has connected us in a way that we've never been connected before, but I think there are limits, and I have limits on technology. I'm not interested in people who are obsessed with social media. I'm not interested in people who are on it for hours and hours a day. I'm not interested in men who post on it all the time and create all this curated content. I'm not interested. I'm interested in going out in the world. I'm interested in living most of my life out here in the world and meeting people like offline and meeting people in the real world. And even if I met you online, I want to meet you offline. I kid you not. There are people whose sole purpose of using dating apps is to just talk to people through the app. That's weird to me. That's really, really weird to me, because to me, the dating app it should be a meeting people app. You're not communicating longer than a week. And years ago, when I used dating apps as for my, when I was doing my research on dating apps, so I used dating apps for 2 years straight, my hard and fast rule was 7 days. I would converse with a man through an app for 7 days. And if we did not make a plan to meet up, I just unmatched and I blocked him. Because to me, that's how dating apps should be used. They should be used to connect with a person that you wouldn't see in the real world, and then you meet them. And if people weren't doing that, I just disconnected. Brianne Nicole says, is the number of couples meeting online that are happy and healthy is a small percentage. A lot of dating coaches are promoting online dating like it's the only way. It is definitely not the only way. And if I can be honest, a lot of the couples that come into my counseling practice who have met online are having a bunch of problems. So I'd have to do research to tell you what that percentage is, but it ain't all as cracked up to be. Right now, people in general have problems. Regardless of where they meet, regardless of how they meet, they have problems. Like, they have a lot of issues. They have a lot of problems. They don't vet people carefully. They don't choose the right people. So that's what we're seeing across the board. Whether you meet a person in person, whether you meet them online, if you do not vet that person carefully, you're going to have problems. What I do not like about online dating is it gamifies dating. It gamifies connection. It gamifies people, right? People are seen as products. People are seen as, a product that you buy or purchase or whatever, right? They're not people. That's what I don't like about it. So I'm not pushing that and now the dating apps have become downright dangerous. Dating apps are a dark triad man's playground. That's where the dark triad men live. They love dating apps because they have endless options, endless women to play with, and to dangle carrots in front of that they have no real intention toward. They have no real intention toward these women, but they use dating apps to have endless options of women to play with their little hearts and their little feelings. There's literally no point to seeing someone in person other than to satisfy their desire to be close to your physical body. Well, that's a big thing. Like, why are we acting like that's not a huge thing? That's a huge thing. 80% of all communication is nonverbal. And we can't determine that online. So that's a huge reason why you would want to be with that person. However, we are not supposed to focus on our physical bodies like that. We are spiritual beings. Well, we are souls and spirits living in a physical body. So until we are actual spirits, like until Christ comes back, like, yeah, I have a body. The world will slowly keep evolving to be more technology based. I mean, you may be right, and again, I'm going to continue to put up boundaries. That's all. I'm going to continue to put up boundaries. I will not, morph into 80% online. That will never happen. Right now, I spend 20% of my time online, and in my humble opinion, that's how I plan on keeping it. 20% of my time is spent online. And when I say online, I mean making content, consuming content. Some of the counseling that I do is through, online. But that's it. That's it. That's 20%. He said, we live in a world where people pay to see other people and have their photograph taken with them. Yeah. Then why aren't you focusing on driving and living out in the world right now instead of communicating with the world through this method? Well, it's because I am a multitasker. I am a multitasker. And you might not know about my platform, Joe Fio. You may not know about my platform, but 90% of my content is created when I'm in my car. That is how I create my content. When I stop driving, you don't see me on here. Okay? I am in the world. See, that's when I'm out in the world. When I am not driving in my car, that's when I'm out in the world doing my thing. He said, you're literally risking your life to talk to people right now. And it's noticeable by every time you look at your phone. If my daughter was sitting in the car, like I look over at her. If my daughter was sitting in the back seat, I look up at my mirror. So I don't think I'm taking any more risks than I would if anybody was in the car with me. All right. I think dating apps are bad for women, very bad. But I think social media apps are great, Instagram and LinkedIn. Thank you. He said, have a blessed day. That's why those dating apps are filtered. Also, people be lying when they create their profile on dating apps. Yeah, dating apps are downright dangerous. So y'all are better than me. You get to allow people to see a visual snapshot of key parts of your life and interest, and it's no pressure. You can look over time of what they are like. Oh, you mean social media? Perhaps. I don't do either. I don't do either anymore. I'm not interested in making connections with people. I think it's all kind of dangerous. That's just me. Those dating apps can be dangerous for men as well. They can be set up by the female that they connect with. I agree with you. I agree with you. And some women do use it for that. They do. Because think about it. Men, women have the hook. Sex is the hook. Sexuality is the hook. And because men are so easily hooked, they can use that. They can, lure you over to their place and you don't know what's really going to happen. So yeah, be careful. People have natural chemistry. Literally, a gravitational pull is a great way to describe it, in my belief. Okay. New York City was rated the worst place to date. I agree. So there, Atlanta, LA, and yet and still, if I'm being honest, I think you can meet a good person anywhere. I do. I think, again, it's up to you and your energy and your vibration. I think you can meet a good person anywhere. And people are still getting married. People are still falling in love. People are still meeting each other. They're still going out and dating and all the things. They're still having kids. The rates have gone down, but they're not to zero. So people are still doing their thing. And it's all about matching the vibration of the person you want to be with. That's it. You got to match that person's vibration. We are all experiencing the same problems nationwide. Yeah, that's because, like I said, the world is winding down. This has all been prophesied to happen. And, unfortunately, I have to tell people the truth, and that is, it isn't going to get better. So I would love to lie to you all, but I won't do that. It isn't going to get better. So just get right with God. That's what I tell people. Get right with God. All right, I'm almost to my destination. The bait is the pictures that they take if they are very attractive women with a well-endowed, curvaceous shape. That's what can get a man killed. Well, like I said, we have seen recently with Shannon Sharp's situation that, yeah, that's where women are. So men are dangerous physically to a woman, but women are dangerous emotionally and mentally and financially. So, again, if you fall for it, that hook will get you every time. That's why I tell men, be sexually disciplined, because that woman, she know the bait. She know the hook. She know the bait to put on the hook to get you every single time. So be smart, be wise. I don't see a lot of wise human beings today. And wisdom says that I don't need to learn anything from firsthand experience. I can learn from the downfalls of others. Wisdom says that I have made some mistakes, but only one time, right? Be wise. I don't see wise people anymore. I see people with degrees, right? You got a lot of women out here that have multiple degrees, but they lack female wisdom. What happened to that? What happened to women passing down wisdom to other women? Now, I do that. As y'all know, I'm a Titus woman, a Titus 1 woman, but young women don't listen. They don't listen to my wisdom. They think I'm trying to compete with them, when you can see all day I'm not trying to compete with y'all. I'm not 20. I'm not 25, and I don't want to be. I don't dress like I'm 25. I don't look like I'm 20. Like, baby, what are you talking about? I'm not competing with you. I don't want a 25-year-old man, a 30 or 40. No. Those men are your men. I'm just trying to show you how to get them. And honey, they just they don't listen. They do not listen. But I let these women know I'm not competing with you. No, that's for you, baby. I'm just trying to show you how to get them. Okay, been there, done that. See, I've been you. I'm not you no more. I've been you. I've been where you at, and I'm trying to show you how to get a good man, how to get a husband, how to have a family. See, I've been there and done that. But they don't listen. They don't listen. So, but I'm gonna keep running my mouth, y'all. Y'all know that. Because even if one person listen, if one person get married, if one person find a good man, okay, my job here is done. All right, but I'm pulling up to my mama's house. I want y'all to have a great day. Thank you so much for taking this ride with me. I appreciate you all. It looks like the day is going to turn into a beautiful day after all. It started out very cloudy when I first touched down. I was like, man, it's cold, it's cloudy, but it's 76 now. It's turned into a beautiful day. So I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And remember, you can get 30 days of Skool. You can get a free trial of Skool for 30 days. All you have to do is email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. All right. And I will have Skool send out that invite to you in an email. Okay. But join us on Skool this week coming up. We will be talking all about ego work and doing the work of the ego. That's what we'll be discussing, is how do we tamp down that ego? And that's where a lot of us, we got to do work on that, because people are selfish. Y'all are selfish. Y'all are self-absorbed, but that ain't getting you nowhere. All right. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.